Give me one sec, guys. Like I said, I'm just getting everything set up now. Just give me a moment, and once I get a couple, and I'll start the live. All right, so this is a topic I definitely wanted to get into, right? I definitely wanted to talk about Dragonfire. Obviously, with Game of Thrones and everything back, like everybody's talking about dragons and the effect that most of the time we're talking about dragons. We're talking about dragons burning stuff up, right? Because it's the coolest and most destructive aspect of dragons. Like we've seen dragon fire just like destroy anything. It's the ultimate weapon. Like especially in these worlds, if you have, I mean, I think in damn near anywhere, I can't imagine where I could be at where a dragon isn't going to be the baddest thing out there, like at any given time, right? Like right now, is our technology better than having a dragon? Like, are we there yet? Is our technology, military technology, is it such that what we have is better than having a dragon? Like, I know we have bombers, we all kind of stealth stuff, but like, is anything that we have better than a dragon? Right? Maybe because we may have stuff right now, but I think it's something that's like, what kind of firepower are we using to outdo a dragon with our military stuff? I know we got some badass stuff out here, right? What are we talking about? At what point do we rise above the destruction that can be caused by one dragon, right? Some of it can even look as cool, right? None of whatever we make is gonna be as cool as a dragon, right? None of the weapons, like we can make some great bombers and stuff like that, and some impressive helicopters. None of that shit is as cool as I have a dragon. So it's never there, but I think they can match the destructive force of a dragon. Like how much destructive force does a dragon actually possess? Like, and we watch dragons destroy cities. Like the dragon in this sense is the ultimate weapon in Legend. Like I don't know of anything else in Legend as a singular weapon that rates up there with Dragonfire. Like consistently. Like, yeah, Zeus will give you lightning, and those are all kind of forms of each other. It's like lightning, that's kind of it. And I'm gonna talk about why even lightning is something that is still kind of within dragon range, right? But these are seen to be, just the absolute like top weaponry, right? When the dragon rose up, like I love watching a movie and there wasn't, it's a dragon in the movie, but nobody's seen the dragon yet, and then the dragon shows up and everyone's like, oh shit. Like the people on the screen are like, oh, they're shook by seeing a dragon. And there's other stuff like I'll talk about this one too. I'm gonna try to remember some of the stuff is talking about dragon fear. I want to go back and talk about dragon fear. So I'm gonna make a note for myself because I think that's an important topic. That'll be an important add-on. Dragon fear. Um, I'm just taking some notes. I want to go back and talk about dragon fear as it was presented in Dragonlance series. All right, so I'm going to work on that right as well. Okay, so this is kind of what dragons are because they're biological weapons, right? Like we've seen dragon fire get explained in both like fantasy ways and in more scientific ways. Like right, like if you go back and you watch the Rain of Fire, like I think it's Rain of Fire, whatever the one. It's man, who's in that man? Oh man, Christian Bale. Is it? Yeah, Christian Bale's in it, and is it Matthew McConaughey? I think it might be Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I think it's is it Rain of Fire? I think it is. It's like probably a 20-year-old dragon flick, right? So like dragons come back and they're in modern times, and they explain dragons, even dragon fire, in a biological sense, right? It's two glands that heat up, and so it's a chemical mixture, right? Which isn't unheard of in real life. Like in real life stuff, there's stuff out there that can shoot on fire, man. Like real stuff. Like we know that. You got a spark of this and whatever chemical mixture you put together. Like dragons could do all that stuff. And I actually kind of prefer when dragons can do anything, right? But so this is kind of overall, like dragons are not, like, first of all, dragons aren't, this is not ordinary fire, right? Right? Dragon fire is not ordinary fire. Dragon fire is at the top of all fires. Okay, this is not, this is at the top of all fires. This is a force in nature, right? Like we know this, right? What can dragon fire actually do? What can't it do, homie? It can melt stone. It can vaporize armor. This is observable stuff. It has destroyed entire castles in small cities effortlessly, right? Single dragons. It can burn entire cities apart. It creates fear even before the flames arrive. Like this is what a dragon is. Like one really big dragon easily can destroy a city in like minutes, right? I would say in minutes. Okay, okay. Let me revise this. Okay, I'm trying to make it comparable. Like if a dragon was gonna try to destroy New York, like what would happen? Like how would that? Okay, let's strategize this. I'm trying to figure out like where dragons are in the modern world. Like you know what I'm saying? Like like what type of power would it take for, like, we see dragons destroy cities all the time in fiction, like in Westeros and shit like that, right? Could a dragon destroy a modern city? Like one dragon, like when we see like, smog come through and he burns out an entire city. Could he do that to a modern city? And like what kind of dragon are we talking about? Because I think this is important. This is important here, so we can put this dragonology as what it is to scale, right? We know the parameters of dragonfire, right? We know how hot it burns, which can be like 1,000 to 2,000 degrees. Like you're in like low end dragonfire, right? Modern city, could a modern dragon destroy a city like Shreveport, Louisiana, where I'm living at right now, right? Could one dragon do that? Now he could burn our neighborhoods, he could destroy vehicles, he could collapse structures, cause panic, and knock out our infrastructure. But destroying a city itself is a much bigger task, right? Right. Because we're a lot more concrete, steel, brick, like we use a lot more fire resistant materials. Like Westeros was all stone and like wood and dry stuff, right? So you were prone for burning up anyway, right? Like, that's exactly what it is. But like a small dragon, I think could take care of my entire neighborhood. Like, I mean, easily you could just, and if you're just gonna keep on doing it, you could go from neighborhood to neighborhood. Like that wouldn't take you very long, right? It just wouldn't be like it would be like a prolonged attack, right? Like that, but that's what it is. So this is what dragons are. So on the low end, it's like 1,000, So, low end dragons, you burn obviously wood, vegetation, and you can kill humans. Like that's similar to like industrial fires. These are like, lower tier, as they were, lower tier dragons, right? And then you got your mid-level dragons, right? Now, your mid-level dragons, right off the bat, are able to do greater feats. They can melt steel, and that's important. That will be important if you're destroying like any industrialized city, like they were doing in well, like I said, Rain of Fire is like the best example, right? All with Dragonfire, how like they had burned up the world, right? In Rain of Fire, dragons were a planetary. Right? So this is the power of dragons. Like this is what I'm saying. Can we scale dragons out? So a mid-level dragon, man, you can melt steel, you can ignite buildings instantly, you can turn battlefields into inferno, right? Like your heat range goes up about 2,500 to about 3,500 degrees. Then after that, you get into your high-end dragons, right? High-end dragons melt stone. They destroy fortifications. They create explosive shock waves. This is heat wave, expressions of up to 4,000 Fahrenheit plus. This is more like a volcanic eruption than just an ordinary combustion. And that's really the difference, right? This is what we're talking about in the various levels of dragon. And you see in mythology that it's different because different types of dragons project different types of things. They're not all even projecting the same things. And I'm going to make the argument for the movie, what's it called, man? Again, like a Rain of Fire, right? Like, because there's fire, which is traditional fire, which we see from dragons. And then there's like that napalm type stuff, right? Like napalm, which we see in Rain of Fire, right? So it's a whole different type. And then you have your plasma or your superheated energy dragons as well. Then, of course, you have your magical dragons, and that ignores everything. And then you have dragons who are divine wrath. And I'm going to talk about a few of those as well, right? Now, your Game of Thrones dragons, which is obviously what we're really here for, they've shown that they can melt armor pretty easily. Like, Game of Thrones dragons have no issue melting armor. They can destroy whole armies. They can burn ships. They can reduce cities to ash. Like, King's Landing was built to survive that shit. And you see, like, it reduced it to an extinction level event. Like, it is extinction level weapon, because of how, one of the other advantages is, like, when you have a dragon, you don't run out of stuff. Like the dragons also bringing dragon intelligence, right? Like, even though we may have, highly destructive weapons, with our warfare and so forth, it still lacks like a dragon's instincts to conquer, right? Like what dragons willing to do. Dragons have shown us to be able to lose their powers or their particular dragon breath in ways I never would have freaking thought about, right? Like dragons know. Dragons know what's up, man. When it comes to dragon fire, nobody knows more about dragon fire than dragons, right? So they know. So when we watch King Landing get burned down like we're seeing here, like, I mean, it was destruction. The city was all stone. And it knew how to get in there and it heated. Like once those cities get heated up, they're like, I'm heating up your core. They understand what fire and heat does as well. What it does, it like, again, because again, you're kind of leveraging dragon intelligence in there as well. Like, so we saw it fully on display, I would say, with Game of Thrones, like Game of Thrones, House of Dragons. I think we've seen, like, man, what Daenerys did with her dragons, man, that was 3 dragons. That was 3 dragons. And a pretty big one. I mean, Drogon was a pretty damn big dragon. So, and then we saw Smaug, right, in The Hobbit. And when he destroys Dale, right, like he just one dragon and he's just destroying entire military forces like it was nothing. Like nothing that they had was going to stop him from doing anything. No, I mean, like the fact that they got him, that's the story right there. It is the story. That should be the part that we focus on, because otherwise it's not like one scale. You know what I'm saying? Like one scale away from like absolute, I'm doing whatever I want to do. Absolutism. So that and see, and that's the thing. Like when you get a dragon, especially you get someone like Smaug, this is also intelligence, like ancient. Like when you're attacking Smaug, he probably knows things about the city that you don't even know. Right? He's been around that long. He probably knows who built what it's built out of. Like, really, if he removed his arrogance and went full on into its intellect, Smaug could be an even more devastating creature. I mean, honestly, with all the wisdom. And then he's greedy, and you can fly, and you got fire shooting out of your mouth. Like, I spit hot fire. Literally. Like, all that in one creature, man. Like, what would you be if right now, if all of a sudden you could fly, right, would you be the same person anymore, right? That's the question for today. If all of a sudden you found out that you could fly, would you even be the same person? And I don't think you would be. I think every single one of us would fundamentally be changed, right? Fundamentally would be changed, okay? We're going to get back to that one, all right? All right. But think about that. So you're a dragon. Not only can you fly, think about you can also spit fire out of your mouth, right? Like you can spit fire out of it. This is a different thing, right? So how are you really feeling about yourself? Now I have a long range weapon. First of all, I'm a dragon, so I have armor. Like my scales, for the most part, unless I got a big hole, like like Smaug did. Like man, patch that thing up, man. Like that's kind of like that's your that was your exhaust port, man. It's the freaking Star Wars. Which story came first? Oh, The Hobbit would have come first because that's what it was, man. That's a whole video right there. In fact, I'm gonna mark this up so I don't forget about this one. I don't want to forget about this one, okay? Because this is an important. This is an important. It's too important to not remember. Okay, I need to write this down. So give me a sec. I'm just pulling this notes up here. Okay. I wanna further explore the idea of Smaug being killed by this one opening in his armor and the Death Star being destroyed by one exhaust port. Like I want to talk about that as a storytelling mechanism. I can't do it right now because I'm in the live feed, but I'm using this to take notes so I don't forget about it. Because that's an interesting story, man. They're always given like an out, like I know that our heroes actually shouldn't win that battle, right? So we always got to have a freaking open exhaust port. Like that's what Smog's missing armor was, right? That was the exhaust port on the Death Star, okay? Which is lazy writing. Make them earn it, right? I'm just saying it is what it is. So this is what it is. So Smog is all this stuff. And I think if you're that smart, you might have checked your armor, but whatever, right? Or you'd have patched it. You could have put something over it. I don't understand why Smog would roll out there with nothing covering that patch over his chest, right? The only way that you could possibly die and you don't do anything about it, right? But you're all intelligent, so all right, whatever. And then the last one here on the let me bring this up on screen too. Let me bring this up on screen. What number is that? Well, yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, I just want to bring this up here. This will help. This is an addition to some of our on-screen graphics right now. Right, I always like that. Right. Okay, so then we get on to Rain of Fire, right? Like Rain of Fire, if you remember this flick, man, like dragons were definitely more just straight up biological weapons. Like we saw them being just like biological weapons, right? Like we didn't run away from that. And their fire, they were more the napalm dragon. They were definitely more napalm. And how they got dealt with was also it was a lot more modern too. I'd have to say overall that's one of the best or the best really. There's not really been anything else. It's kind of the best like modern or more modern, dragons exist kind of stories, right? Like we have to give him credit for that, right? It wasn't the best. Actually, like I think that movie's actually aging pretty well. I gotta be really honest about it. I think it's aging pretty well. And matter of fact, I might even watch that today, man. Like to actually be real about it, I actually might go watch that today, right? So if you haven't checked it out, man, like yeah, it's definitely one of the better because it's not set in ancient times. I'm not talking about newer dragon movies that have been made. I'm talking about the setting was still a modern setting, and they removed all the mysticism to it, right? So it wasn't even like their origins. None of that stuff was like rooted in anything magical or supernatural. It was all just ecological collapse. Like this breed got out of hand, and now we're just done, right? So like that's kind of where that's coming from. But it was, man, like I'm telling you, it was like a really good, just kind of like the way the story came about, like how they manifested, like, what the dragons were ultimately doing, how they came. Like, I didn't love every part of it, right? Like, I didn't love every part of it, and I still question some of it, but it's different, man. Like I said, I wouldn't shit on that, man. Like, not at all. Like, I would definitely go watch this movie, and I enjoyed the movie. And like I said, man, it's like, it's you know a different look. Like, this is definitely like the biological. We're looking at the biology of Dragon. So from that standpoint, like, again, I stand by it as a good movie. It definitely contributed what it needed to contribute, right? Like, we needed it to be what it was, and it delivered. So, but that's the first time, like, because the other, Game of Thrones, man, it still kind of requires a more magical component. Like, they don't really say it out because it's so much blood and bloodline, and it's still kind of leveraging the Targaryens. So to me, that's always kind of like supernatural, right? Whereas Rain of Fire, just like, yeah, these dragons showed up and they're just tripping, and that's a whole different level. Like, that's a whole different level right there. Okay, but back to looking at just like Dragon Fire in general. Like, going from that, we go to like Dragonheart and Draco uses fire as defense, combat. It's demonstrations of fire, so it's not really as like apocalyptic. It's more something that dragons have, and like kind of further on. Like, if you look at a lot of the Dungeons and Dragons, in Dungeons and Dragons, you actually get a lot more diversity in your dragons, right? Like, you'll get, the red dragons, the frost dragons. In a lot of D&D, you'll get that. You'll get frost, you'll get lightning, you'll get acid. And those are all pretty freaking common. And here's the thing, all those things kind of, to me, link back to more like a natural, like, I think there's probably lizards who do all that stuff, right? So that's not surprising at all, right? Any of these things that dragons do. So this is where kind of like, historically though, why is it that all dragons breathe fire? Like, historically, we gave that to dragons. Like, almost across cultures, we gave that to dragons. I don't know why we gave it to dragons, but it reflects something about us. Like, dragons are most often associated with snakes, predators, but also storms, volcanoes, and wildlife. So all those things are kind of under dragon domain, as it were, right? That's what it's the symbols of. Dragons are also symbols of fire, right? It's part of the symbolism of what dragons are, right? They're also fire and judgment. That's their symbolism there. So when we look at dragons, we know that about them. Like, when a dragon comes, sometimes it's divine. That dragon pulling up is also divine judgment. Sometimes cities are destroyed for things like pride, right? It's like, they showed the, not pride in that way, but you know what I mean. Oh, it's weird though, right? Dragons destroyed because of greed. It's war. Like Targaryens, we see dragons are all about mass destruction. They're also, nature's revenge. Like in Reign of Fire, that's what it was. Like, we had formed this bad balance with our eco, with with nature, and nature sent dragons, right? So there's a lot of like takes on why dragons manifest, but this is essentially like what we look at Dragonfire. Like, from a biological standpoint, man, this is the illest stuff that you can get out there, man. There's nothing more fire than Dragonfire. Like, at the high end, it's the worst thing out there, man. Armed with that intelligence, someone who knows how to use it, knows how fire works, still smart enough to strategize. Like, that's a real dragon right there, man. I know we see a lot of them dragons just kind of wandering around tripping, but these are a lot of times, highly intelligent creatures, man, depending on the mythology that you're looking at. But that's where Dragonfire really, really lines up. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this one here, this next piece here, because this is where I wanted to start talking about some other forms of fire, okay? Now, there's lots of forms of fire in the mythological world, and I want to rank them all out. And this will give us a little context, because it's as devastating as Dragonfire is, man, it's actually pretty low down on the totem pole among fires, right? And I'm going to talk about each one of these, right? I'm going to talk about each one of these. because these are important. But this is what we got on Earth. This is what we're dealing with here. Like these are the multiple types of fires that you're gonna deal with on this place, right? First of all, there's regular ass fire, or what we like to call in the business ordinary fire, right? Regular fire is another word, right? Like whatever you got in your pocket, that kind of fire, right? And we know that that into itself can be massively dangerous, right? Like that is massively dangerous, right? Okay, let me ask this. Like I want to put this in reference, right? Lots of people get burnt up by fires, man. Fire gets out of hand, destroys buildings. Like fire by itself, like man, I'm telling you guys, there's some stuff we need to know about. Okay. What are the worst examples of fire in real history? Like what are the biggest fires ever? Like I'm thinking things like destroyed cities or Rome. What are the worst fires that have ever existed in history? Because this is where we need to like we got to start the scale right. Like we're like, oh, regular fire. Like I got primordial fire on the far end, right? On the far end is primordial fire, right? Way over on this end here is ordinary fire, right? I get how that looks. I get that that looks like I'm saying that ordinary fire, right? Down over there, way down there in the beginning, you're nothing. You're basic, right? You're local DJ, right? I can get that it feels like that, but we're not doing that with ordinary fire because fire itself is devastating. Fire has destroyed plenty of stuff. Like fire, let's not forget, the Great Fire of Rome burned for 6 days. And then that bitch reignited. It destroyed much of ancient Rome, like one fire. It's associated with Nero because people like say he was starting and keeping it going, but that's disputed as, like, yeah, whatever. But it left like thousands of people. This was devastating. This is one of the most influential fires of all time. Like changing the world, like right? Again, this is ordinary fire. This is ordinary fire, okay? Then you have the Great Fire of London, right? This burned for 4 days and this destroyed 13,000 homes. It destroyed most of medieval London. It spread rapidly because buildings were patly tied together and built largely from wood. It like ransacked on it, man. The Chicago fire burned 3 square miles, destroyed thousands of buildings, left 100,000 people homeless, and became a defining disaster in American history. Like fire is it, man. You get wildfires on top of this stuff, man. Like we have fires, man, that have burned 1,000,000 acres, right? This is regular ass fire, right? And let me and just so you know, I don't want no beef with regular ass fire. That's where I am with it, right? Regular fire, don't take this as a disrespect when I put you at the bottom of the list in terms of fires, right? You being at the bottom of the list is only a reflection of how much work. Because, like, look, after you, we get dragon fire. Okay, so like, if you're regular fire, but number two is dragon fire. If I'm regular fire, I'm like, yeah, I get it, right? You like regular fire. You're not gonna dispute anybody that's ahead of you on this list of fires. Not one. There's not one person on this list of fires that you're like, I'm better than him, right? So regular fire, we get it. I hate that it looks like, like I'm saying, I'm dismissing campfires and house fires and torches and blacksmith. I'm not dismissing any of that, right? And you get pretty hot, right? You get pretty hot. 2,000 degrees is what our blacksmiths can work with, right? So you can do all kinds of stuff with that. But obviously, you're not much compared to your big brother, Dragonfire, right? Dragonfire is literally a whole different type of fire, right? This is industrial fire. You have an amateur kit. You're like when I had an amateur science kit, right? And I had little, I had slides and I had a microscope and I had all stuff. I had a kiddie version of a full-on like little microscope, examination set. That's what you are, regular fire, right? Like I don't want to incur your wrath. I respect you, right? Regular fire, I respect you, okay? I'm not even tripping, okay? So don't even go there, okay? But what dragon fire is fire, but weaponized. It's directed. It's often sprinkled with some magic up in there. And it's most of the time very explosive. This is the fire that destroys stone and steel and armies and castles. This is what you see on Game of Thrones all the time. Rain of fire, like The Hobbit. This is that kind of fire. This is fire up getting up to like 3,000, like 10,000 degrees. It's hotter than a furnace blast, is what these is. This is mythically dragons representing nature's wrath, primordial power, kingship, and conquest. So this is what dragon fire actually is, right? And then now that we got Dragonfire off the list, right? And we're like, okay, well, who would be next after Dragonfire? Well, right, seriously, you know what's up, man. It's Hellfire. Hellfire is the most commonly referenced fire of all fires. Everybody's trying to get their hands on Hellfire, man. I'm being real with you, man. Hellfire is, as they say, a hot commodity, right? Like, look at it, man. Like, think about, some people who know about Hellfire, and this is what Hellfire is all about, man. Hellfire is something different, man. Hellfire is about punishment. Yeah, that's what Hellfire is about. Hellfire is about punishment, man. Yeah, Hellfire is about judgment. That's what Hellfire is about. Yeah, you didn't realize that? Yeah, you do know about that. You know Hellfire. Yeah, Hellfire, it reads on the label of what Hellfire is all about. If you unleash this Hellfire right here, this is about punishment and judgment, right? Retribution, revenge, get back. This is what Hellfire is all about, man. Hellfire is not shy about it's Hellfire is the first fire that said, yeah, okay, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. Regular fire can come in all kind of forms. You do all kind of stuff with regular fire. You can get a dragon and point in different directions, right? But Hellfire, that's an untamed fire right there in a whole different kind of way. This is about spiritual destruction. This is about the soul. It's about spirits. It's about divine beings. Like, whew, man, this is about depictions of hell and all that fire. Like, come on, man. It's something to that inferno, man. That inferno is truly infernal, right? It is truly, truly infernal. Like, where a dragon fire is going to do something to you, man. A dragon fire is going to change your entire makeup, right? And you'll wake up being someplace else. Maybe it's Valhalla. I don't know where it could be. But you're no longer there anymore, right? Unless you survive it. And I don't know why you want to go and do that. But Hellfire, that's something different, man. This is something different. I'll take a dragon fire firing over a Hellfire firing all day long because this is about your soul, man. This is about your soul. This is about like punishment on a different level, man. Like, yeah. You see, like, here's the thing, because like Dragonfire, man, Dragonfire really destroys your body, man, right? The Hellfire, man, that's something else, man. Hellfire. Now we talking about my boy, Ghost Rider, man. Now we talking about Ghost Rider when we're talking about Hellfire, right? Like Hellfire is something else, man. Hellfire burn underwater, man. That's Hellfire doesn't even like care about physics or any of stuff. Hellfire is like, I'll burn in space and there's no oxygen there. If you see a dude up in space and it's burning his burning motorcycle, man, that's a badass dude. You better hope he's not there for you, right? Because this is something different. Because what he brings with you is judgment, man. Because Hellfire be knowing stuff about you, man. Hellfire be listening, waiting for your ass. Like, really, yeah, I'm gonna get him. Yeah, I'm gonna get him. Hellfire be like, yeah, okay. I'm often waiting. What did my man do in Constantine? Yeah, I'm clapping. That's what Hellfire is, man. It's all that stuff. It is punishment, man. It destroys who you are. It's not just burning up your body. It will destroy you. And you can't even say that you don't deserve it, man. Because why else are you getting this Hellfire? Because it's something you did, okay? So I don't want to hear it, right? But here's the thing, man. Hellfire ain't even the top. Hellfire still ain't even there, man. And like, I know how bad it seems, and everyone's like, oh, I want some Hellfire power. Yeah, Hellfire is dope, man. Hellfire is dope, man. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's real. It's real out there, right? But you know the real thing, man, is out there is divine fire, man. Divine fire. Now, divine fire, man, that's some whole different type of thing, man. That divine fire, that's like Kali, man, right? That's like the burning bush, like divine fire. Like Hellfire, I know it's hellacious, right? Pun intended, right? Pun intended, the Hellfire is hellacious, right? But what you think that divine fire is like, man? You know that divine fire is a little bit better than it, man. This is the fire of the gods. This is sacred temple fires, right? This is Zeus lightning fire, right? That's what this fire is, right? That's what this fire is authority, right? This is the kind of fire that will kill you and bring you back. Like they hit you with it and you come back to life clean. You like, stop doing that. That's what it is. It will burn all the shit out of you and be like, look, stop doing that shit, okay? I already told you again. Don't for next time I ain't gonna bring you back. Right? This is divine fire. It is purification, right? This is it right here. This is your chance. If you see divine fire, run to it, man. Right? Because your relationship with that, it exists. Divine fire is about revelation, man. It's about purity. This is the only fire that when it burn on you, you come out better than what you was before, right? That's it. Divine fire, right? Let's think about that. And we don't see a lot of depictions of divine fire. It's weird that they let hellfire get all the pub while divine fire really doesn't even get that much run. Like, that's kind of the weird old thing about it, right? Like, there are two types of fire. We never talk about divine fire, but divine fire is out there, man. This is all these examples. Divine fire it burns forever, but because it cannot be destroyed. Divine fire is never destroyed, right? It's the ultimate kind of fire that's out there, right? And we see it all the time. Like, we see it all the time until it's used for like war. When you see it's called down, divine fire gets called down, it's done. It's not even. It's nothing, right? You're nothingness. If you're opposed to that divine fire, man, you seriously got some problems, right? This is what it is. Now, of course, the step up of that step up, right? We stepping up to almost the top of this is cosmic fire. All right. Cosmic fire, yeah, is deservedly sitting at that top upper status right there. This is stars, this is supernova, this is creation fire, this is end of universe fire, right? It's those things. This is the sun. This is Ragnarok being consumed by flames, right? This is the Hindu cosmic destruction, right? This is cosmic entity format. This is like the tippy top. This is a 1B, and like a 1A player, right? Like a 1B player, right? You never really need to go over this player. This one can do everything. This is it right here. This is degrees that are measuring scales that we can't calculate, right? Type of fire. This isn't like dragon fire. This destroys a world. Where dragon fire will destroy a city, this type of fire here will destroy an entire world. Or it could create an entire world, right? We don't know what divine fire is going to do, because this is also a conscience. This is a sentient fire. This is something on another level. This is before any of this stuff existed. This is like where you're looking at this, how Galactus is moving, right? This is kind of where I rank a Galactus if you need some kind of reference. And then way on the end, man, like in the elite class, where they you only call this guy out there when you're like, okay, like, we just need you to take care of it. And it's like, and he's like, all right, where is he, right? And then you bring out this dude, Primordial Fire, or this lady, Primordial Fire, however you want to see it. This is like, yeah, this is the fire that was before the gods even got here, man. Before the gods were on the scene, there was primordial fire, man. Ain't that a powerful thing? Before there was humanity, primordial fire. Before there was civilization, primordial fire. Before everything that you would say, primordial fire. This is Muspelheim, flames of Surtur. This is Greek eternal fire. This is creation myth fire. This is cosmic born flame at the crux of the universe. When it birthed all this energy, this flame was there at the very beginning of it all. This is creation. This is destruction. This is the birth of reality itself in this flame. The most amazing power of all of this, like this, hellfire is terrifying. Primordial fire is like what existed even before that. Like, this is where it's returning back to like the ultimate source for all this stuff. It literally is all that, right? So I wanted to just kind of break it down, because I know, man, we're all talking about dragons stuff. I want to be up on dragons a little bit, and I consider myself a bit of a dragonologist, so like, I had to dig into it, man. I had to do it. I hope this has been insightful. I hope this has been useful. I'm gonna dip out for a little bit because I'm hungry and I want to get something to eat, man. I made like a nice bowl yesterday, right? So anyway, I'm gonna dip into that. I'm gonna dip off of TikTok. So bam. Appreciate you guys for sure. And they're gone. And let me